Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming here to the Apple Store in Covent Garden for a chat about football, computer games, and whatever else we can get these guys to talk about. We're here to talk about Top 11. Top 11 is the most popular online football game in the world, with 120 million registered users worldwide. The brainchild of Serbian game development company called Nordius, been translated into more than 40 languages, and has a certain Jose Mourinho as its global ambassador. This season it has added a new level of detail with the addition of a 2D live match feature focusing on player positions, helped by a master of the art, Chelsea midfielder and Premier League winner Nemanja Matic. So to tell us more, please welcome him and Top 11 CEO Branko Milutinovic. Hello, chaps. Right up there?
Hi.
Good. So we'll start off with an easy one. Branko, if people have never really seen this game or played the game, tell us a little bit about what it is and perhaps why it's different to some of the other games out there.
Sure. So, well, in a nutshell, it gives you an opportunity to be Jose Mourinho, sort of.
Okay.
In your own virtual world with another, millions of people competing against you. Why is it better? Well, I think in the era of iPhones and iPads, it's really a product that gets you closest to the experience of being a football manager.
So this is the game is you're a football manager rather than you're not simulating playing or anything else. So why choose the manager? Surely the players are far more exciting.
So of course, players are the most important components of the game. So that's for sure. But what's motivated us to build a game from the manager point of view is actually the desire of all of us that failed to become players to make sure that our opinion or knowledge about football is seen and noticed. So in our country, every single male and most of women have very strong opinions regarding football tactics, starting lineup, and so on. So that's what kind of gave us the idea to.
It's one of the extraordinary things that wherever you are in the world,
exactly,
you can always find a common ground.
Even in US now.
Even in the US now, indeed. I've had some of the strangest conversations in the middle of nowhere. If you suddenly start talking about football, you can make friends with anyone. So you've been going for 5 years now. So when you first had the idea to focus on the managers, how long did it take until you were kind of up and running as a company?
So it took us roughly a year.
That's quite quick, isn't it?
It is, given the resources, which we had none of,
right.
And so on. So it was relatively quick, but also, the first version of the product we released was far, far behind what it is now. For example, we've got Jose Mourinho helping out, and now Nemanja with the new match feature.
Right.
So it's been quite a long ride and really puts a lot of effort all the way. So I can say that Top 11 2015 and the version coming out next year is really something that took 5 years to develop.
And where did the idea to ask to get Mourinho's involvement come from, and how did that come about? You just pick up the phone and say?
So we were always been driven by saying that if you want to be the best, you should work with the best. That's why we work with Apple. That's why we also work with Mourinho. Maybe some people dislike him, but I think everybody is pretty unanimous who is the special one. So that was it. We think we have the best product and we have the best manager.
This seems a good opportunity to ask Nemanja, what makes Mr. Mourinho the special one, in your opinion?
First of all, I think that he's a good manager. Everyone knows, and he won a lot of lot of trophies. But first, for me, the most important is that he is a good man. He understands very well what we players need in every moment, and I think that he is like a person very nice, and for me this make him even better than he is. So I'm very proud because I work with him, and I use every day to improve myself with him, and not only with him, with his staff also.
Do you think he's the best manager you've worked with?
Probably.
Do you have to say that? Otherwise, he'll have a word tomorrow.
He's my manager now, and
he's not stupid, is he?
But Chelsea is the best club where I played, and he is the best manager, of course. We won Premier League title last year, and title can say everything about our team and about our players and about our manager.
Do we have any Chelsea fans in the audience? 1 or 2? 3 or 4? 20 or 30? Right, okay.
80%.
Yeah. Thanks for the maths. I didn't do that. So tell us a bit about your kind of role in your involvement with Top 11, Nemanja. So this is about the new feature, which is kind of a live gameplay situation. Is that right, Branko?
Yep. So what we've done after, really 2 years.
He's not just texting. We're trying to get something up on the screen just in case you're...
So I want to show you what it is. And I will in...
Here we go.
4 minutes.
So the game kicks off in 4 minutes. So tell us a little bit about what we might see. So this is a kind of a simulated game, or based on...
Yeah, so basically what we've done early on was to build a very sophisticated model that really takes into consideration not only the squad, so the quality of the players, their morale, condition, quarrel with the wife or whatever, but it also...
Tell you that?
It's implicitly there.
We're working on that, okay.
But it also, gives managers the opportunity to really influence the game by making the smart choices, by doing what they should be doing. And the problem we had, or the opportunity for the improvement, was, in the representation of what's going on. So we use a lot of data crunching in the back, and we also show some percentage of the data crunching to the users in a way that's, relatively easy to understand, statistics and so on, regular football stuff.
Yep.
And what we've done now, after a lot of development and with Nemanja's help, is to actually make sure that is visually represented to the users in a similar way that the managers in real life are able to draw their tactics on the board and see the players execute that on the pitch. We have enabled our users to do that in the game. And it's very football-y. So it's not really visually stunning. We don't really go for effects and Hollywood style arcade. So this is really about the game, about football, about formations, what players do.
So it's the brains behind the game rather than the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to ask about this, because it's the ability now for developers to create extraordinary-looking games, whether that's football games or whether it's whatever else. It's like watching TV sometimes.
Yep.
So when you introduced this, did part of you feel that you wanted to create this really clever thing, or were you always very beautiful looking thing rather than clever, or were you always certain that actually it's not about what it looks like, it's about what it does?
So I always go for clever, and then looks follow.
Yeah. Okay, then.
With my wife.
And I'm also interested in customer feedback and the role that kind of the response that you guys get, because there's a Top 11 forum and there's millions of people on that, and it's very vocal, and you get it looks like stacks of feedback all the time. How much notice do you pay to feedback, and in what way does that influence decisions you make?
Historically, we paid a lot of notice to that. So we've always listened to feedback of our users. Our roadmap, product roadmap, was heavily influenced by what our loyal user base has to say. But over the previous, 12 months, I think we've never been so focused in actually delivering what our users are not always asking for, but what would make them happy. And this feature was the most wanted one by our user base, which I guess inevitably led to a very positive response from a user base, because I'll be honest, we don't always get appraisal for a job good done.
Yeah.
We tend to...
People are quite happy to criticize and not give praise, is what you're saying?
We tend to also make a mistake or two. But this was by far the most positive release we've ever done over the previous 5.5 years. So I've looked at the comments. Of course, I cannot look at all of them. There's thousands. Mm-hmm. But I managed to read through like a couple of hundreds. And I haven't seen like a single user not being very excited and positive about the feature. Of course, we're going to continue improving it. This is, version 1. The first thing we released. You can see what it looks like. So it's artificial intelligence. Yeah, there was an offside. So
I thought that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And, the users extremely happy. And us even more happy, because what we do in Nordius is we make games that we want to play. And if a game that we're making is not something that makes us feel very good and proud, then we don't really do it.
Right.
So I was extremely happy when we got to the stage where this started to look very promising.
Right.
Now it's pretty good.
So Nemanja, tell me a bit about when we see these guys moving around. Your involvement was...
that the team where I play is going to win for sure.
So, there you are. Look.
I told you.
So you were able to work with these guys and talk about the positional sense of players, and if someone passes in this into this area, then certain things will happen.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to play this game, and I can say that is realistic. It's not kind of game that always better team with better players win. So you have to think when you choose a team. You have to think about tactic also, and the game is really good. Is realistic, which is even better for users. So to be honest, I don't have a lot of time to play, but when I had the opportunity, I really enjoyed, and now I know what I'm gonna do in the hotels before the game.
But I thought football, you have 2 hours in the morning and then you go home for the rest of the day, isn't it? Isn't that what normally happens? That's what we think footballers do all day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's easy.
So
Smart players also help developers build
I'm sure.
a good product.
So do the Chelsea boys play games like this? Is that the sort of thing you would do and sort of on the way to away games or this kind of thing?
Yeah, they play a lot. Especially Hazard, he likes to play this kind of games.
Really? Now I hear you played Mourinho at this game. What happened?
Yeah, I played against him, and he can set what the result was. I think it was 2-1 for me.
There you go. Mourinho gets beaten every now and then.
Thank you.
Was he gracious in defeat?
Sorry?
Was he gracious and polite in defeat?
Yeah, he knew that I'm dangerous opponent. That's why he played 4-5-1 tactic. I played more open 4-4-2, and on the end I gave 2 goals. So for me it was good.
And you're a bit bigger than him, so he probably... yeah, okay. Yeah. Now you've also done something with this game, Branko, where you can create your own stadium, and the kind of the stadium side of things has become quite a big feature. Where does that fit in the manager's remit? Isn't that more kind of chairman level?
It is. So
why that?
because it's cool. So I'll show you what I've built.
Show us your stadium.
There we go. Very small.
Blue.
Yeah.
And what do you base? What stadium is that based on, or do you just create?
It's future Partizan Belgrade Stadium.
I see.
Year 3025.
When they win the Champions League.
That's 2 millennia later.
Oh, okay. Now tell me, if we're in this the House of Apple, so tell me what kind of developments you've been able to make in these games because of the technology Apple put in their tablets and their phones. How does that make the gaming kind of experience better for you?
So it was crucial because we've been developing this product for 6 years, and every next release was even more. It requires even more powerful devices. Better, processing power and so on. So that really helped us because otherwise we wouldn't be looking at top 11 today the way it is without Apple developing their product line further. Now with Apple Watch, it's also interesting. I think top 11 is one of the games where actually Apple Watch comes really useful. Because it's really a numbers game.
Yeah.
And it's all about your schedule, and it goes really naturally with a device such as watch. And what I'm hoping for is that they're gonna build a version of iOS that supports replay.
Okay.
That would make it much easier for us to enable our users to see their games after they've been played. So we'll see what happens.
Well, there's enough people here, you can perhaps kind of start a petition or something.
Yeah, so that was the idea. You can sign later on the way out,
Fine.
and then we'll see what happens.
So we can't really have Nemanja up here without really talking a little bit about football. So what happened at the weekend? I didn't see the score, so I don't...
2-2.
It was 2-2, right, okay.
I'm happy because you watch all our games, so
Absolutely.
that means that we are strong and you scare of us.
Yeah, we were talking, I'm a Spurs fan back.
He's not supporter of Chelsea.
We were, he put me in my place a few times. So tell me about the season ahead. Are you guys confident, or, what's the mood in the Chelsea dressing room like at the moment?
Yeah, normally when you won the title you are confident, yeah. And this season, yeah, we know that everyone expects that we win all games, but this is not possible because the Premier League is the best league in the world, and a lot of good teams, and especially now after last season, everyone wants to take points from us. Everyone wants have extra motivation against champion, and we know that it's going to be difficult, but we are ready for the new season, which starts last weekend, and we will try to repeat, to win the title again if it's possible. We know that it's going to be difficult, but we are Chelsea, and we have to play every game to win, and we will see what we can do.
Because you've got such an international dressing room, what's with the players, if they could win one, is the Champions League more important to you, or is the Premiership more important? What do you care about most?
Champions League and Premier League. These two competitions are not only for us, for every team is a dream to win. Last year we won Premier League, so one dream is done. But Champions League we will try to win this year. Champions League is something special, but we will don't forget also an FA Cup and Carling Cup. So we go for all, and we will see what we can reach.
I'm sure we're going to have a lot of questions for Nemanja in a little while, but which ground that you've played on so far in the UK, which has the, outside of the Chelsea home ground, which is the most kind of intimidating and an exciting ground to play at as an opposition player?
I think against Liverpool away is something special to play, because on this stadium atmosphere is very good, and it's always good to play there. And I think that is very difficult there to take points, because our Liverpool fans, they support all 90 minutes very well, and I'm happy because I never lost there.
Drop that one in at the end. Just before we open it up to questions, Branko, the company Nordius is five years old. It's very young in terms of kind of business, and it's extremely successful. I know that we have a lot of kind of entrepreneurs that watch these videos, and probably in the audience. So what advice would you give to startups or to entrepreneurs looking to start a new company?
Be brave and focused.
Be brave and focused. Tell me about being brave. What do you mean?
You're going to have to make some sacrifices. Just like when you want to become like the best midfielder in the world, or top 2. So you need to make a lot of sacrifices. You cannot really, enjoy life all that much.
Right.
So that's about being brave, being ready to make sacrifices.
Okay.
Is there any particular player that you've looked up to in your career, or based your playing style around?
To be honest, in this moment, no. But when I was young, my idol was Zinedine Zidane. But moment I play different position than he played, and I don't have some special player. But when I was young, definitely was Zinedine Zidane.
You didn't practice headbutting when you were a child, then?
Sorry?
The headbutt and the... Good. We'll move on. There was a gentleman there on the side.
Hello. What does it make you the best midfielder in the world, actually?
First of all, thank you. I don't know. I think that on every training I give my best. Every day I try to improve myself, and on every game, of course. And in my career, I try to go step by step to choose the clubs where I can improve, and I think that this makes me one of the best midfielders, like you said. And the most important is for one football player is that you always can improve, and you have to work 100% in every training. You can't do today I will train, tomorrow I can't. So every day you have to be focused, you have to be concentrate 100%, and the result is coming.
Do the players, do they kind of, the individual awards, so the best player, the Ballon d'Or and all this, is there quite a lot of kind of banter and competition about that in the dressing room, or does everyone expect Ronaldo or Messi to win it every year?
Of course, in this moment they are the best. We have to be honest, and in our changing room, I think that we don't think about that, and I'm sure that these two players, they don't think also. But the most important is
I don't know. I think Ronaldo thinks about it quite a lot.
It's your opinion. The most important is team. If team wins title or Champions League, you have more chance to win individual trophies. But if team doesn't play good, I think that this is very difficult.
Yeah.
Do you notice a big difference in the squad this season without the presence of Didier Drogba in the changing room?
Didier was a big leader, and was nice to be with him. He won many things with Chelsea, and his experience was good for us last season. He spoke with the young players, and I think that we learned a lot from him. And he is not with us anymore, and it's strange. It's strange because normally when you think about Didier, you can imagine him only with Chelsea shirts. So, but the life is this. Football life is like this, and he is 37. I think was time was time to go, and it's difficult without him. But we bring some new guys with also great qualities, and I'm sure that they can show that they can replace him.
How do you build in the unpredictability of the referees into the game? Is that right?
Yeah, their decisions.
They are predictable, actually.
They always get it wrong? Yeah.
So, to be honest, we haven't paid that much attention to that. So we made every ref fair, unlike in Premier League.
Is that possible?
It is in our game.
If Chelsea were to make the Champions League final, who would you most like to play against?
That's a good question.
Against some small team.
Like?
To be sure that we will win. So, but I'm sure this is not possible in Champions League. I think that Champions League is Champions League because every team is difficult. So doesn't matter against who you play. The game is for sure difficult, and maybe against Real Madrid, because this can be for sure can be a special game for all of us.
Who do you consider the funniest guy in the dressing room for Chelsea?
I think Zuma.
Why is that?
Zuma, I think he's funniest because he is always smiling, and if you say him good morning, he's laughing. So nobody understands why, but he is a great guy, and he's very funny, and I like him a lot.
I was just curious as to how many people you started your company with.
It's me again. So we started with 3 people.
And how did the growth happen over the years?
So we ended year 1 with 11, and then 33, and then 70, and then 120.
Was there a moment in the 5 years where there was a sudden spurt? Was there a kind of can you put your finger on one kind of defining moment that took off?
Well, I'll have to use the wisdom of Nemanja. So every moment was special and very good. Mm-hmm. So we also lost only a few times in our game. So I would say like the strongest growth was, when we actually decided to build the mobile version for iPhone. And that made us as a company the first in the world to do that. So we were actually the first developer, and Top 11 was the first game that was transitioned from PC and Mac to mobile device. Okay. And that really accelerated everything in the company. Brought a lot of new technology and complexity. It was a good decision and a great moment.
And you started in Serbia, but you didn't come over to countries like the UK or Germany or America, say, for quite a long time. So you built kind of small and steadily. What was the thinking behind that?
So we were looking at football, and then we said, why are our teams so bad when our players are so good? And the answer was, they leave too young. So Nemanja left, before he got the chance to become, the captain of Red Star and win the Champions League with Partizan. So we decided that we're gonna actually try and build the momentum in Belgrade, and then once we're champions, then we'll expand or make sure our presence is there in other countries. So we opened up in London actually last year. We've got quite a few people near Oxford Circus. But that was after, Belgrade team was very strong and ready to win the title.
Who is the best player you've ever played against? And who is the player you least look forward to playing against? Who's the hardest player?
The best player I play with is... I played in Chelsea. You have 25 great players. It's difficult to choose one. Also, I played in Benfica. There was also great players like Aymar, Luizao, and it's really difficult. I played with Didier Drogba, with Frank Lampard, Ballack. They are all great players, and it's difficult to choose. But the best players I played against was Messi.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he was. Well, you tell me why. I mean, obviously he's quite good, but why was he hard to play
Because he's
against?
small and quick, and
and you're big and slow. What?
I'm tall and he runs so quickly. So,
in a nutshell, that's football for you. If you want to be good,
if I want to stop him, I have first to kick him. So.
Oh, you wouldn't do that.
I don't
would
like
you?
to kick people, but against him, there is not other way to stop.
So do you see yourself staying at Chelsea for the rest of your career?
I hope so. I have my contract still 4 years, and I'm 27 now, and I hope that I can stay in Chelsea for the rest of my career. But as you know, like you said, in football you never know what is going to happen, and we will see. But in this moment, what I can say is that I'm very happy in the team. I'm happy in England. My family, for me, the most important is that my family is happy. They like London, and I don't see any reason to change something. But as you know, the football life is strange, and you never know what is going to happen tomorrow. So I will try to continue to work like this, and we will see what is going to happen.
So it's possible that you could end up back at Red Star and in the swan song of your career, lifting the Champions League for them, is it?
To be honest, when I was young, my dream was to play in Red Star all careers. So in this moment, this is very difficult because of situation in that club. But he said that you never know what is going to happen in football.
If you keep practicing, one day you might just get there.
Yes.
There you are. That's all we've got time for, I'm afraid. But thank you very much for being here, and thank you guys. Please
thank you.
Join me in thanking them very much indeed.